This is Live with Chatufa. Welcome, family. Welcome to your show. We are in the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. We are watching like an eagle's eye, looking at what is happening upon the nation of Zimbabwe, events that are taking place as we are watching God delivering our nation into that nation that we have been waiting for, the great new Zimbabwe. We are seeing a lot happening, and we are here to come and discuss on the issues that we continue to see happening in the nation. God is really on the move, and God is faithful. In this season, He's going to be faithful with His word, and definitely we are going to see the greatness of the nation, a nation that has been looked down upon, coming up, rising from the ashes, because God is in it. And we are looking today at many issues that are happening in the nation as we continue to be surprised by the events that are happening, especially with those people that have decided to sell the struggle and joined the enemy. People like the Triple C cadres that have dined with the ZANU-PF and have given themselves positions and have elbowed out other people that were really supposed to be taking part in those positions for the betterment of the country. So we are looking at an event that has happened in Harare City Council. Again, Jacob Mafume, Mayor Mafume, is coming again on the news in the headlines for all the wrong reasons once again. This is a sign of the poor management and leadership that we are seeing in the Harare administration. So Mayor Coltart Lambasts Jacob Mafume's administration after a Harare council assault case. This is a very unfortunate incident that has happened in Harare, and we are saying, is this the leadership that these guys wanted to take into the new Great Zimbabwe, where they are totally failing to take care of the needs of the citizens, to put the needs of the citizens first, but it's like they are also just behaving like ZANU-PF. A council that is run by supposedly opposition leadership is supposed to be doing things differently from what ZANU-PF is doing. But are we surprised? We are not surprised, because Mafume is ZANU-PF and ZANU-PF is Mafume. What more can we expect from them? It is a case that is very, very disturbing. I'm sure quite many of us have already seen the videos doing circles on the social media of how the municipal police have assaulted a civilian, a citizen in Harare, only for flimsy reasons. And this is a call that we need to give to the leadership, that they must hold on to their horses, they must tie their dogs, because this is not the Zimbabwe that we are looking forward to. And if Mafume is going to be leaving such kind of happenings occurring in the country or in the city of Harare, then definitely he's just proving that there is nothing totally about leadership that is in him. This is all a ploy to make money, to enrich themselves, also to enter into corrupt deals and to befriend ZANU-PF. So I want us to look at the video and also the commentary that has been given by David Coltart. I really respected David Coltart for what he said concerning this issue. But let's start with the item itself. It's actually a tweet from the Zimbabwe Human Rights Monitors platform, and we want to just acknowledge them. And they say, disturbing reports. We understand the Harare City Council police brutally assaulted a vendor after seizing the commodities he was selling. We condemn any acts of brutality, as this is a gross violation of human rights. So indeed, really, this is a very sad development. I think I'm just going to play the video so you can see what happened in the city of Harare, which is being condemned. Right, this is the video. This is the very disturbing video that happened right in Harare. And my question is, who do these guys think they are? You see, this culture, this is what we are always saying, that the culture that ZANU-PF is, planted within the country is very, very wrong. Because these guys are just ordinary guys. These are not even guys that are recognized as police officers or something like that. For them to find themselves, behaving worse than the ZRP, indeed, it is very shameful. I don't know what authority that they have, that they think that they can be able to assault a citizen after having taken away his loot or whatever that he was selling, his properties that he was selling, whether it was vegetables or whatever. They have taken everything that the guy is selling. For whatever reason, there's no need really to end up assaulting an individual just like that. And it is a very sad scenario that we are seeing. So when we look at all this, we go back again to those people that can command. Who gives command to these guys? Who sends them out there? Those are the people that we face. Before we can even talk about these guys, we want that commanding officer who is giving an instruction for these guys to go and do what they have to do in the streets of Harare. What instruction have they been given? And when things like this happen, we expect people like Jacob Mafume, as the mayor of Harare, to come out and to address issues like this, to really come out clearly and categorically state that this is unacceptable and this is something definitely has to be done. Some people really have to lose their jobs. Some heads have to roll here. If indeed we are really looking towards building a Zimbabwe that is free for everyone, that is going to be friendly for every citizen, we definitely need to uphold the rights of citizens in the country. We don't want the behavior of ZANU-PF to spill over into every other area, and everyone is now just behaving like ZANU-PF. This is really unacceptable, and this is something that calls on to Jacob Mafume to really show leadership qualities by coming out, lambasting that, and making sure that he puts order. And these council dogs must be tied and given instruction and must be properly inducted to be told that you don't have rights to do anything like assaulting anybody. I'm sure, it's just unfortunate that at times these things are done to some citizens who don't know their rights, or probably who don't have even the money, maybe to hire a lawyer or something. But if this guy would hire a lawyer, I'm telling you, one thing that is definite about it is that the Harare City Council is going to distance itself from that incident. And those guys will be left in the open for them to stand and answer for themselves. So, people want to take the law into their hands as if, and this is by law, actually. This is not even criminal law. This is by law. The issues that you have to do with council. You can't maim somebody's father, a husband to somebody cannot be destroyed. Their life, maybe a hand broken or a leg broken, and they cannot continue working for their family only because the crime that they've committed was to sell in the streets of Harare. What is so surprising about that? This is the scenario in the country. It is known that there is no employment in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF has destroyed the industries. There's destroyed factories, there's destroyed companies. There is literally no jobs in Zimbabwe. And citizens, instead of engaging in criminal activity, thievery and thuggery, and they are deciding to embark on some kind of personal jobs that they can do, like selling or ordering things and selling in the streets for them to make ends meet. But now they are seen like they've committed very, very great crime to the point of being assaulted to that level. So we are standing to condemn this. This is something that we have to condemn, and we are not going to be accepting this. This is not the Zimbabwe that we want. As the intercessors and citizens that are praying for a new great Zimbabwe, we are saying this is not the Zimbabwe that we want. And we don't want leadership who are going to be behaving like Emmerson Mnangagwa, who looks at his dogs doing many, many evil things and bad things, and he does not say anything about it. ZANU-PF people are caught on the wrong side of the law every day. Every day there's exposure of some people in ZANU-PF having done this or that, but they are forgetting that a day is coming where everyone is going to answer. Mnangagwa is not saying anything. Mnangagwa just leave them do whatever that they do, but the time is coming when each one is going to stand for what they have done. Some of these crimes that these people commit, they don't even know that there is a day to answer for this, because that day is going to come. Zimbabwe is never going to remain like this. And Zimbabweans are never going to remain under this kind of oppression. One day is coming, a day that the Lord is going to bring justice to the nation of Zimbabwe. And all this is going to be brought back again for people to really answer for what they've done. So it is a very sad scenario, what has happened in Harare. And we are yet to hear if Mafume is going to be saying something about this. But I just want to hear, to share with you what David Coltart said. Indeed, Coltart said a mouthful, and we say kudos to the mayor of Bulawayo. This is what we call leadership. This is indeed what we call leadership. Let me just go to what he has written, already giving a warning to would-be offenders in the Harare, in the Bulawayo City Council. So David Coltart says this is unacceptable behavior, and I draw it to Jacob Mafume'S attention. Nothing justifies a gratuitous assault like this. Employees of city of Bulawayo stand on notice that if they are ever involved in gratuitous acts of violence like this, they will face the full wrath of the law and our internal disciplinary code. Exactly. This is what we call leadership. We need to hear leadership speak like this. Leaders are supposed to come and stand for the citizens, defend the defenseless, defend the poor. Because if leaders that are elected into offices are going to behave like ZANU-PF, and they behave like bullies, and they let citizens be brutalized by other people, who are these guys anyway? Just a police, a municipal police, some guys that are just uneducated. And it is it's so sickening. It's so sickening to see some people that are also suffering the same way that everyone is suffering in Zimbabwe. You want to treat the other citizens of Zimbabwe as if they are second-class citizens. Shame on them. Shame on them. We really need to see things happening. Some heads must roll. Some people must account. Some people must be taken to the justice system, and something has to be done. Just look at the brutality. Just look at the level of brutality. You can even ask yourself, what is it that this guy had really done to warrant this kind of, attack? That is just way too much. And anyway, whatever it is, whether too much or not, nobody is ever allowed to do that to another citizen. We are all citizens. We are all equal before the law. Nobody has got the right. Police themselves are not even allowed to beat people. And yet Zimbabwean police, they beat people. They are not allowed to beat people. If they catch somebody who has a case to answer, they simply have to go with them to the police camp, make a docket. That person is taken within 24 hours to court. To the court of law is the one that determines whether that person is guilty or not. Then taken to prison or pay a fine or set free if they are not guilty. That is it. Nobody should ever lay a hand on any other citizen in Zimbabwe. It's against the constitution of the land. And when we have leadership that are looking at the constitution and the rule of law being broken every day, and yet they are sitting there busy working on how best they can make corrupt deals, and instead of protecting the civilians and the citizens of Harare, these are the ratepayers, Jacob Mafume, and even these idiots that are beating that man. They are paid by the city, by the rates that are paid by those people that they are assaulting. And if these people are not inducted and taken again to be reoriented and taught the right way of doing things in a professional manner, we have seen these council officers behaving so brutal, and they are just foolish. Something must really be done. If councils really are taken by a right opposition party, they must be taking these people into induction and teach them. Unlike ZANU-PF, that is just letting its ZRP dogs just do willy-nilly upon the citizens of Zimbabwe. This is very, very unacceptable. And we say kudos to David Coltart. May you continue to lead Bulawayo and make sure that things are done according to book in Bulawayo. We don't want to see lawlessness, and we continue to demand that we don't want to see oppression in Zimbabwe. We need a free Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe must be freed from people that think that other citizens are of less importance. We don't want the animal farm kind of Zimbabwe. We want a Zimbabwe that is good, that is fair, that is helping, loving to all Zimbabweans. And every Zimbabwean has a right. Everyone has a right to the courts of law to determine whether they are in the wrong or not. Not for somebody to take the law into their hands, to make themselves the judge or the magistrate, and already judge that somebody deserves a beating and then nothing just happens to that individual. We are not going to be accepting that. So shame on you, Jacob Mafume, and your administration. You really need to pull up your socks and make sure that you put your house in order. Show leadership qualities. If indeed you are true opposition cadres, we need to see you rising up for the defense of the citizens, because the citizens of Zimbabwe are defenseless at the hands of ZANU-PF. We want to see a different leadership that show that they are different from ZANU-PF. Otherwise, we don't see any difference between ZANU-PF and the so-called opposition leaders that have been forced, that have actually forced themselves onto positions of authority. So, family, this is about it. What we were looking at today, it is very shameful, and we really need to condemn acts like this. We can never continue to have citizens being brutalized the same way that we are seeing this happening. So I just wanted us to discuss on this issue and look at how these pseudo revolutionaries are causing the country to, continue to drift into lawlessness. But we pray that our country is restored and things come back to normal, and a good Zimbabwe, a free, loving Zimbabwe, progressive, is coming out for the people of Zimbabwe. Otherwise, family, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to be coming back very, very soon. I think around 3:30. I'm coming again with yet another issue that we are going to be discussing on what is happening around the nation. And we continue to comment, and we know what to take to prayer as we go into our closets to pray for our nation. Let's continue to pray for our nation. The great news Zimbabwe is coming. A Zimbabwe that will care for others, that will care for everyone, not this Zimbabwe that we are seeing. It's a painful one. Otherwise, let us meet again in the next show. I think around 3:30, we'll be touching on yet another story. Otherwise, as for now, bye for now. I sign out. Thank you for being with me. Shalom.